Okay, an appeals court is now set to review the controversial case of suspected Venezuelan gang members deported by the U.S. Justice Department.
Right, so the president evoked the wartime 18th century Alien Enemies Act. That is the same one the government used to round up some Japanese immigrants in the U.S. in the 1940s. Libby Dowsett is live in studio with us. Libby, all this is really dredging up bad memories for some people.
Definitely. Japanese Americans from the West Coast whose relatives were rounded up by the FBI and sent to U.S. Justice Department camps during World War II are seeing the similarities, saying it's like history repeating itself only 80 years later.
Photos on display at the Japanese American Museum of Oregon show what can happen under the Alien Enemies Act. In 1941, radios blasted news of the Pearl Harbor attack, and it didn't take long for FBI agents to sweep through Japanese American communities, taking anyone they deemed suspicious to one of their segregation camps, like the one on Angel Island or Tule Lake, California.
But here is my great-grandfather.
Hanako Wagatsuki-Chong, the executive director of the museum, shares the story of her great-grandfather, swept up by the FBI under the Alien Enemies Act.
They were community leaders, or just they were language teachers, or judo instructors, or religious leaders.
President Trump invoked the Alien Enemies Act, which has only been used 3 times before in U.S. history, to deport suspected members of a notorious Venezuelan gang he says are running drug operations in the U.S. In 1941, justice officials claimed they were rounding up immigrants they believed were loyal to Japan, not the U.S.
Both my parents were interned, incarcerated, and lost everything because of very strong anti-immigrant sentiment and racism and hysteria, and I see that happening now.
David Nakashima stopped by the Japanese American Museum while visiting Portland from Oakland.
If we don't learn from history, we will repeat it, and we all must be allies to one another.
This letter comes from a Japanese American child in a camp asking the Department of Justice to return his father.
He wrote many letters over the course of his incarceration at Minidoka, pleading for his father's return.
Social service groups assisting immigrants in this current climate are now calling on the public to pay attention to our past and take action for the future.
First they came for one and we didn't speak up, then they came for another and we didn't speak up, and now they're coming for us, as the saying goes, and no one's left to speak up.
A federal judge ruled the Alien Enemies Act could not be used to justify recent deportee flights to El Salvador. The administration argues the court should not be involved. Coming on Monday, a U.S. Court of Appeals will hear arguments in that case. Back to you guys.
I know a lot of folks are speaking up and a lot of people have a lot of questions. Thanks, Libby.